Alright, hi everybody. For those of you who know who I am, thank you again for your support and continuing to follow my work. I greatly appreciate it. For those of you that are new here, my name is Mike Killian. I'm an aerospace photojournalist. I'm a photographer and writer, and I cover the U.S. space program, military aviation, general aviation, civilian aviation, airlines. I work closely with the warbird community and the museums that take care of those vintage aircraft around the country. We're here today at the beautiful Mission Inn Resort in sunny Riverside, California. If you're ever in Riverside, I definitely highly recommend you check this place out. It's an absolutely beautiful resort here. And we're here today to unveil a new U.S. long-haul carrier. They're called Northern Pacific Airways, and they will be servicing select routes across the country to Anchorage, Alaska, and East Asia, specifically Japan and Korea. And I'd like to thank Northern Pacific Airways for flying me out here and putting me in this beautiful resort for a couple days to cover this story. They're starting with a small fleet, some older airframes, Boeing 757-200s, and over time, as the company grows, they will be adding to that fleet with the Boeing Max and eventually wide-body airplanes, but you have to start somewhere. So later on today, we're gonna go take a trip to nearby San Bernardino Airport and actually see this plane for ourselves. So they're actually gonna be based out of Anchorage. Some of the cities that are going to be servicing in the United States include San Francisco, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, New York, and Orlando, Florida. We're about to go and meet the CEO of the company. His name is Rob McKinney. He has quite a track record in the airliner industry, and he is well known for taking companies that aren't doing so well and bringing them back to life. And so who better to start this new company than him, especially in the midst of a pandemic when all the other airlines were suffering. Meanwhile, this company is starting out and they have a very bright future ahead.
Why would someone start an airline today? What makes one that much different from the other? Perhaps the answer has less to do with new planes and more to do with new ideas. Ingenious new routes, a transformational loyalty program, greater freedom to transact and exchange. Who could ask for anything more? You can. Introducing the next era. Streamlined, bold, distinctive.
My name is Rob McKinney, and I'm the CEO of Northern Pacific Airways. I went to school at Purdue, lived in 10 states now, always been in the aviation industry, starting, fixing, mending other airlines, and this is the newest opportunity that we're bringing to the market. We already run a regional airline in Alaska. That's where I live. That's where our family essentially is, and it's uniquely located halfway across the Pacific. If you take any trans-Pacific flight from almost anywhere in Asia to almost anywhere in the continental US, you fly right over Anchorage. So by us just doing a quick stop in Anchorage, we're really not taking anybody out of their way and actually able to offer a more affordable price and a nicer experience. We're going to have a mix of different airplanes just to make sure that we have enough, but some will be ex-United, some will be ex-American, and then we have 3 or 4 coming from other sources.
When do you expect to deliver this first plane to Alaska?
Well, there's no there's no rush. We're still going through all the approval processes with the FAA and with DOT. So I'm probably going to wait till weather gets a little bit better to take it up to Alaska, so that we don't have to go through de-icing issues with it just sitting there.
And how many are in the fleet currently?
This is the first one. We're
Okay.
closing on the second one next week, and our goal is to have 12 for launch.
Launch being the first actual flight with paying passengers?
Yes. Our goal, it's a stretch goal, but our goal is September 1st, but we'll consider anything a win that still has 2022 in the date.
Okay. And let's say over the next few years after the first launch, will it all be 757-200s, or do you hope to move into other airframes as well?
Well, we know right now we have to move into the airframes.
Yeah.
757 is a 25-year-old airplane at best, and it's really not scalable. We think we can probably get to 20 airplanes with sticking with 757s, but we're already in talks with both Airbus and Boeing right now to see what the next version of Northern Pacific is going to be. There's only two that really kind of fit the bill until we start scaling up into wide bodies. So it's going to be the 737 MAX 9 or 10 or the Airbus A321 XLR.
Can you go over what unique hurdles you guys faced and why you chose to do this during a pandemic when all the other airlines seem to be suffering?
So we saw it as an opportunity. There's two ways to look at global tragedy: is to retract and condense. And we thought this is really a pathway towards where we can establish something that may be difficult or impossible in any other time. In great booming aviation times, to get slots into busy airports or get gate space is nearly impossible. Well, now the big airports are welcoming us, and they're looking for this new opportunity. So we really see this as a way that we can get something established that would have been nearly impossible any other way. And we're just optimists. We believe that the world will return to normal, that somehow we'll figure out how to live with this awful disease, and we'll bring back life as we knew it at some point. So we could be wrong, but we think that so far so good, and we're betting on the side of positivity. I've pushed the string uphill a lot of times in my career, and most of the time it's worked out. So we think that this is the big swing for the fences that's really going to bring a positive service to people that can get them across the Pacific.
What would separate Northern Pacific from the other airlines? The public seems to have a love-hate relationship with a lot of airlines. Why would they want to fly with you guys?
Well, we think we're going to be fun and cool. We have this awesome paint scheme, but we're going to have state-of-the-art in-flight entertainment to keep people entertained on those long flights. We have cutting-edge loyalty that's backed by crypto, but no other airline has done. So we really believe that we're on the forefront of what will make air travel at least less painful, if not fun, and something people are excited about. very first Boeing 757-200 with the new livery on it. We have awesome digital marketing partners in All Forward out of New York, and they came up with the theme and the thought about us all being navigators, and then tying it to our relationship to Alaska. And so it's all part of the journey that we take, and then the path that we take through Alaska. Well, that's our home. That we already run a regional airline in Alaska. That's where I live. That's where our family essentially is, and it's uniquely located halfway across the Pacific. If you take any trans-Pacific flight from almost anywhere in Asia to almost anywhere in the continental U.S., you fly right over Anchorage. So by us just doing a quick stop in Anchorage, we're really not taking anybody out of their way, and actually able to offer a more affordable price and a nicer experience. We're going to have a mix of different airplanes just to make sure that we have enough, but some will be ex-United, some will be ex-American, and then we have 3 or 4 coming from other sources. This is the first one. We're closing on the second one next week, and our goal is to have 12 for launch. Our goal, it's a stretch goal, but our goal is September 1st, but we'll consider anything a win that still has 2022 in the date. 757 is a 25-year-old airplane at best, and it's really not scalable. We think we can probably get to 20 airplanes with sticking with 757s, but we're already in talks with both Airbus and Boeing right now to see what the next version of Northern Pacific is going to be.